Welcome to Leadership Matrix, a special meeting with star leaders from District 108 Toastmasters International and our dear guests who are here with us as well. We are going to speak about leadership roles, and what we will discuss will be just answering some questions. I know the leaders present here personally. I've had some Toastmasters adventures with them. They have inspired me now and again, but let me ask them. Let's ask them the questions and find out. Among us is Justyna Lityńska, Adriana Vasilasze, Heikki Siltanen, also Michał Talaga as district leaders, and as our dear guests, there is Dariusz, there is Damian and Magda, and we also have the pleasure to have our current district director, Monika Szlachta, with us. So the board is really fantastic, and so far I know everyone. Let me ask you the first question, dear panelists. How long have you been involved in Toastmasters? If you could quickly inform us. Is it a completely new adventure, or maybe it's been some time? Adriana, let's start with you.
Well, I started yesterday, but it went so fast. So yeah, I started 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Heikki, what about you?
10 or something, maybe 11 years already.
11 years already.
Yeah.
Okay, Justyna, how about you?
So I started in 2015. Now I'm like in France, I'm on a break, but so from 2015 until I think 2022, so around 7 years.
7 years. And Michał, thank you, Justyna.
I think it's 10 years or 11 or 12, can't remember.
Okay. Okay, so mature Toastmasters you are, but not yet 18. And Monika, what about you? You have to unmute yourself so that we are able to hear you.
Sorry, okay. I joined 2014, but I had 1 year break, so 8 years.
8 years now. Okay. And let me also ask the guests. Darek, how long have you been a Toastmaster?
2018, I think, and I've got maybe 1 year, a break, and then it's 3 years.
Okay, so you are a bit shorter here among us. And Damian, how long is your Toastmasters career? Damian maybe cannot answer. Magda, what about you? Is it 5 years?
Yeah, 4th year now.
4th year, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, the youth meets the adulthood here, and let's then inspire our guests and also everyone who will in the future watch our meeting. And first, I will ask our panelists, because you've already served as a district officer, I would like you to explain to the viewers which role you took, and that's about it. And a few sentences about what is it about. Let me start from Justyna. Tell us about your role as a district officer. What did you have to do?
I was a PR manager. So in very short, you can say it's like a VP PR, but for the whole district. So I was supporting the marketing of events for Toastmasters within the organization, but also the advertising of Toastmasters as an organization in the countries of the district. So back then it was Poland, Finland, Lithuania, and Latvia.
Mm-hmm. You still had a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
definitely. And Michał, what about you?
I didn't know I'm a panelist though.
I included you. I hope you don't mind. You wanted just to be as a guest.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I hope you won't mind.
What was the question?
The question was, what was your role in the district?
Oh,
as district officers? I know, but
division director, lieutenant governor marketing, program quality director, and finally district director.
So all in all, it were 4 years on the division as a division director and further. Yes.
Yes.
Up to
yes.
district director.
Yes.
Thank you. And Adriana.
Well, I have been a club growth director, so basically taking care of the, well, more or less care about of the clubs in the district and sort of VPM.
VPM, but for the whole district.
Yes.
Heikki, what about you?
I started as a finance manager in the old district at the same time as Michal was there. And then I took a break from district things, set up an area director, division director in Finland and Baltic countries, and then administration manager in our current district.
Thank you. So it's also many, many roles. How about Monica? Please share your roles with us.
I start as a area director. Actually, you, Olga, was my division director, and you inspired me to follow another role. So then I was division director, club growth director, program quality director, and finally district director.
Thank you. As we can see, the people here in our panel, they have experience. They have some people just 1 year, some many years of serving the district. And from what Monica said, from what Heikki said, or Michał, you were climbing the ladder of leadership above club level. So the question I had here for you is, what's the best way to grow as a leader after you've been long enough in the club and you need some more challenges? What would you say if you were to give somebody some advice? What we can do after we've just done a lot of things in the club? We've been the club president, and some people just stay in the club box. And I would like you to maybe suggest how we could get out of it. Whoever wants to start, please go. And hello, Irina.
Hello, I can maybe start because I noticed most people don't know what happens beyond the club level. And it's a pity because might be a lot of talented people because they get bored and things is nothing for them. And myself, I recommend that start area director position because I started finance manager. I had, of course, my professional background was good for the role, but I didn't know anything about this, what happens beyond the club level. So it was quite a deep dive of what's going to happen here. I was taking a natural step would be area director, in my opinion.
Thank you. And probably it was a good step because I got to know you and learn from you. Yes. Okay. Who else would like to answer this question? What's the best way to grow as a leader outside club?
If I may continue and actually tell the same thing, because I forgot to mention, I also have been area director, and that was basically the first step going beyond the club. So first time I heard there is something else except the club was going to contest, but after that, thinking of the leadership path, the area director was the first step that made sense.
Thank you, Adriana. Hello, Zbyszek. Nice to have you among us. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Anybody else who would like to share?
So I would add to that that the first step I would take is to just generally look what roles are available. Area director is often offered as the best first step outside of the club because, well, it's a natural continuation from the president. So like as a president, you care for one club. As an area director, you care for a few clubs. As a division director, you care for like several clubs. And then you can care for the whole district. But not for everyone, I'd say president is the most let's say comfortable role, or the one that they like the most. And you can start with, just like Heikki said, you could start as a financial manager if treasurer was what you liked best, or you can start as a PR manager if you enjoyed creating like videos and pictures the most. So I would start with still within the comfort zone, meaning the role you liked the best, and from there just spread out into uncharted territory.
Okay, I like these suggestions from Justyna. Okay, and now if you think about the role that you fulfilled, many people here did many different roles on board. What did you need to mostly, what were you responsible for in your role? Maybe we will manage to capture all the roles. So Adriana, you were a club growth director. So could you just summarize what were your responsibilities in this position?
I would say the most important and relevant was, of course, to keep the existing clubs alive and also help build new clubs. And of course, make sure that the clubs we have are healthy in terms of number of members and active members. That this is what I see as the most relevant aspect of the club growth membership. Of course, it's how you do this, how you organize events, and how you teach people on doing open houses and encourage them. So these are adjacent attributions, but that's the main point of the role.
Thank you.
Adriana, I have a question for you. May I?
Yes, sure.
It's very personal.
It's recorded. It's recorded.
No, I'm just joking. No. If you have opportunity to be second time club growth director, did you accept or not?
It depends on the moment in time. So at this moment, I will not accept because I have many other responsibilities. If I would have been at the same position in time, yes, I would accept it.
Thank you. You helped me a lot. You don't know what was really question. That's why.
So you had something underneath, Zbyszek. Okay, and let's imagine somebody is a club treasurer and really likes finances, and here's this role, financial manager. Heikki, you were a financial manager, and Michał, were you also a financial manager for some time? Probably you weren't, but you were, yes?
I had 2 finance managers resigned or being resigned. So I was doing the finance manager as well.
Okay, so
which costed me my soul. I lost my soul doing it.
So it wasn't, you weren't really up to it with your heart.
Not with my heart, not with my mind, not with my soul.
Not with your time.
That's like the top of the list of the things I hate in the world is doing paperwork with invoices, budgeting.
Okay, but maybe for some people it's something they would enjoy. Heikki, what was your experience with finances, district finances?
Let's sort of like understand Mihal's point of view and finance manager roles. Like, it's not so made so sexy as some other roles, but every organization must have a good support function, good back office to actually able to operate and be able to organize things efficiently. And people get their money back, reimbursement in time, and you know where you're going, what incomes are, what expenses are, you stay in budget. They are necessary that any organization can meet its goals. And that's an important point. If someone is interested in numbers and is a treasurer before, good opportunity, really to scale up, because already back in my days, Toastmasters was quite modern organization. And what I've seen tools now that's even better. So if you want to grow as a leader in any kind of other profession, understanding basic of finance and reporting is a must. So it is a Toastmaster place to practice that one.
I can confirm, like, obviously, like, I hate it, but that's my personal take, but it's like super important. The higher you go in any organization, finances, budgeting is like probably top 1 skill that you can learn in Toastmasters as well.
Let me ask a question on the verge of Toastmasters and and also your professional life. Have you ever used this information that you served in this huge position, and you were responsible as a district finance manager? Have you ever used the information, or maybe you talked about the skills you gained here in other situations when you were maybe at work, gaining new work in some places like that?
Are you asking me or Michał?
Both of you, whoever starts.
My answer is yes.
Yeah, okay, mine also, because I work at that field anyway, so it's been part of my career anyway.
Okay, so it's very valuable then.
Yep.
I don't know if I am motivated enough, but maybe there is still time and you can work on me a bit further. All right. Now, thank you for these answers. What about other roles here? Justyna, your role was PR manager. So let's get back to this question. You told us already a bit that you were advertising our district. How did you do that, and what did you learn from this role?
So there are a few levels to that. So one of the things that I considered one of the most important parts of my role was supporting other district leaders in advertising their work. So, for example, if there were events created by the club growth director, or if there were, for example, there was a need for more formats of contest diplomas, which were online because we were the leaders during the height of pandemic and lockdowns. So there was a need to have diplomas which you could show online. So to support them in a way that they don't have to, let's say, waste their time, or meaning that this is something that I can do. I am technically, let's say, trained to do that, meaning I attended some workshops and was trained by my predecessor, and this way I can help them in doing their duties. So that was something that I considered most important. There was also the question of, let's say, guarding the Toastmasters trademark. This is something considered very important by Toastmasters International as an organization. For me, let's say, I tried to keep the common sense, meaning that I was not guarding every single club birthday cake, which was supposed to be created, and well, technically I was supposed to, but there's also this matter of making sure that the advertising done by the clubs actually shows what organization really is, and not just goes way too much above what should be advertised. And last but not least, making sure everyone is having fun. So during the meetings of district leaders, I was usually supposed to do the integration part. Monica is nodding her head, so I think she has some memories of that. And yeah, hopefully I was doing a good job. But basically just trying to channel creativity into the work of the district.
Thank you. So I did not realize that your job was also not only on the outside of the district leaders and towards the whole community of our district, but also inside among the very district directors and officers' roles to create good bonds between you and good atmosphere for work. Fantastic. And we haven't discussed the role of Monica. Which role would you like to discuss? We have had club growth, we have had PR. How about program quality director? It's like the vice president of education on the district level. I will also ask you and Michał to share your insights in a moment about district director, but program quality director is the vice president education for the district. It sounds really serious, and I'm sure it is serious. And what is this role about? You could share.
It was very serious role, really, and I think the hardest one actually, because when I was club officer, I am treasurer right now, but I have never wanted to be a VPE. And finally I had to be, so some way had to be, because it's like a natural way of developing as a district leader for me. So the most funny thing in this, it was organizing district conference huge event with a team, because a program quality director is responsible for this, the main event in the year, but also about the contest. And contest on each level I support and I supervise. Also, finally, I had to read rule book, and because I get many questions about this, about some rules, about some interpretation of the rules, how to behave, and it was really hard sometimes for me to find this answer, and I have to communicate with the headquarters to get a right answer for this. But what I wanted to also to practice in this role, it was because program quality director is also responsible for trainings for leaders, different kind of leaders, from the club level to district level. So I gave some recommendation and I prepared the program for those events to bring enough knowledge for our leaders and prepare them for their roles, actually. So if you think about how to organize some training, what should be inside, how to get those insights, how to get feedback after this, program quality director is a very good role to practice it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And if you like to do a lot, you will have plenty of things to do.
I think it's about each role. It's like if you put your heart, if you put your time into this, you can really do amazing things. And it's a lot of things to do, actually. Just adding something, like a sparkling to this role.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Now, before we go to district director, which of course is the hottest,
it's a boring role, actually.
It's a boring role. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me still ask Heikki one more question, because I think you also served as the administration manager.
Yes.
So how do we play with this on the district level?
That is actually a very interesting role. Because of course the person is this director's right hand, and what I learned, for example, very much is about the communication role, how to reach the district leaders, and one important skill is active listening, because you might think that okay, writing notes is not a big deal, but it's actually when you have business meetings, and even when we're Toastmasters, people are not so clear what they mean. I really have to focus on that one, and that'd be a useful skill for me later on, because I think active listening very often overlooked leadership skill, and that is kind of skill that really transferred to other things as well.
Thank you. So listening skills and taking care of documenting things,
in general,
but not only.
Not only, it's very much communication about events and things to come, and in general keeping our back office straight, and that is very important as in the other role, because it's when everything works, nobody notices, but when something doesn't work, everyone notices that one.
Yes, then the success has many mothers, but if something collapses, the father is only one.
Yes, district director, and it's always district director.
Okay, so all right, what about district director? The most important, the hottest of all the hot seats at the top of the district. So what goes on there? Let's hear from Michał and from Monika. What would you say?
Michał, you can be first.
Like for me, it was an interesting thing because of the finance situation, let's say. But then it was also rewarding, I guess. I got to know a lot of people. I always say the most valuable things you will get out of Toastmasters is you build a network of contacts of people that are reliable, because most people aren't, but those few that are, that's why we are in Toastmasters, I guess.
So you build strong relationships because you're put in a very responsible place in the organization.
Yeah, you are doing, like, no one pays you to do anything. You have to do it. And then some people just don't care.
Mhm.
So it's worth like keeping track of those people that care in the small things, because then you can rely on them in big things, and you can contact them after you leave Toast or after Toastmasters in your business life, work life.
Mhm. Or you can just stay friends for
Nah, not friends.
That would be too much. Yes. Okay. Joking. And Monica, what about you? What is district director's role about? What do you do? We hear you are the district director. We know you are the most important persona among us right now. So what exactly do you do?
Maybe I will tell you what I have learned during this role, and I still learning because my cadency isn't finished yet. So I learned how to be how to preside our important meeting, our district council meeting. So 2 times a year, I'm a host and I provide this meeting. And it's also about the voting, giving motions, elections, and other our operational things. And I have to be more familiar with this Robert rules and the procedures and other rules, protocols, because also many people ask me about how to follow those rules in a different situation. Also, what I didn't know that I will have to handle, it is a lot of conflicts. Actually, if we have some discussion conflicts between members, between clubs, between leaders, district director is a person who investigates this situation and try to find resolution, and also make agreements between people. But what is a lot of fun in this for me is that district director is responsible for a team, to keep the team. And as Michał mentioned that his finance manager resigned at some point, 2 finance managers resigned. So it's a huge problem for district director, because you have to find a person to fill this role during the term. It is easy at the beginning when the term is starting. You find some talents, you show people opportunities, you have to show them the chance what they can take, and it's presenting the role and talk with people. Maybe someone will be your team member. It's very, this building team is for me some amazing activities as a district director. But sometimes if someone resign, you have problem and you have challenge to fill this role. So this is what I have learned.
So it's a bed of roses, but also with some thorns.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it's only each role actually, because it's like always it's a bright side, but sometimes it's some challenges with the role.
Mm-hmm. It's like going in the mountains, a little bit uphill, a little bit downhill.
Yes, but I have to say that like our DCM in September was very hard for me how to handle this meeting. And after this, I had a very important meeting at work. And for me, because I experienced it in Toastmaster, I knew at the time that, okay, just take calm and everything will be good, because I was in this situation. It was Toastmasters, only Toastmasters, but it gave me this sure that I will handle it well.
So you already had this experience of
yes.
A lot of emotional intelligence and being diplomatic, even in hot moments.
I try, still trying.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate what you have shared so far. Now I would like to give voice to our guests. Maybe they have already some questions. Maybe they have arrived because they are curious about one particular thing. You have a chance to ask a question right now. And then if time allows that, I will have some more questions for our panelists. Would any one of you want to ask about anything?
Well, I will dig up again. Adriana, what was the biggest challenge in your position of club growth director?
Mhm.
For my particular case, at that moment, the biggest or one of the biggest challenges that I faced was my location. So I was located in Finland, and there was and still is a big part of the district geographically quite distant from me, and also I wouldn't say out of my reach, but in a way harder to get to. And the communication in the end turned out very well, but it has been maybe harder to start. So that's the understanding, or at the very beginning, it was the understanding that, well, this district is big, and it has each region with each characteristics.
I wish to have such problems.
I think I could add a little bit to what Adriana has said, because I have worked in the club growth directors team when Kamil Chmiel was in this position. And the problems we were facing were, for example, searching for club coaches. This was in the end of pandemics, and a lot of clubs were in a very poor membership situation, and they needed coaches. And luckily, club growth director built a team around. And when you, Zbyszek, when you take a role like that and you create a team of people who support you and divide the tasks, then it's really learning even more leadership and making many things easier when you don't want to carry all the responsibility on your back. And
I always create a dream teams, and now I have a dream teams too, which I even call it Zbyszek team.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one of the members is probably here. Yes, is Magda.
All right, she is here with you. Any other questions?
I have a question, if I may.
Yes, sure, Magda.
I have applied for the division director role, and I'm specifically interested in that role. And I can see that there are several people here who have already experience in that role. Could you share your understanding of the role, how you performed the role, and how you understood that? Because I believe that according to the rules, it's a little bit vague for me. So I'd like to get your point. Thank you.
Who would like to share?
Maybe Olga, you will answer, because you used to be, I would say, an exceptional division director. So let's turn the tables, and maybe you will also say something.
I think also Heikki should reply, because he was in a very difficult division. Division B, it's not easy to manage.
Comparing with Division D?
Bit different, but Olga, hey, you go first and hear your points.
So I shall start. As a division director, I thought that because it's divisions are always about geography, the fact that people are spread here and there and somewhere at some space. In case of Division B, it's in 3 separate countries. I think it's 3. Yes. B.
4.
4. It's 4 countries. Yes, even 4. So it makes it even bigger a challenge. So for me, when I became the division director, I thought to really start with a good beginning, to really win the heart of Monica and the other people who are working then with me as area directors. We just need to get to know one another and create a plan together. And that's what we did. And we had a separate boot camp, which lasted, I think, 2 days it was. We found a weekend over holidays, and we stayed together and planned many things, shared responsibilities, and got to know one another, spent time together, sharing jokes and different stories, and it felt completely different. And the thing that I always relied on was personal communication. It's hard because you have a lot of things to do, but the more you communicate with people, the less problems there will be, because they will be more willing to take responsibility and not asking the person above them to solve the problems for them. If you create these bonds with your team, then the effect is that they feel you trust them. When people feel you trust them, they feel free to take real ownership of their tasks. And that's how this leadership is being built. So that would be my insight from the division director's perspective. And some people are scared of the fact that, oh, yes, you become the division director and you must organize two huge conferences for the whole division. But it's not like that. If you have these bonds with people, if you talk to them, if you have worked with them, then they will say, yes, we want to do that. And if they need some more encouragement, you will give it to them and they will take responsibility for it. You just lead them, but you will not do all the hard work. It's impossible. Heikki, what would you add?
Yeah, you're right about that. In my case, I had 4 countries, and all my area directors, they're from different backgrounds, one from Finnish, one from American, one Lithuanian, one Indian. And what I discovered, it was difficult to arrange meetings to be actually would physically be together. There were a few times we met all together. So we have started online meetings. That was before COVID times. So we were at how I had a curve in that situation. And also discovered it's you're a leader of leaders. So it's good opportunity to practice leadership and delegation. Trust people and they can do the jobs and you help them, of course, oversee it. The things are happening. And you said, okay, something isn't happening, it's supposed to be happening. You contact a person, and it's very much about building a relationship with people because you must rely on them. They'll be on the shoulder, they can cry on if they have some hard times and give them a little bit of support. So that was and it was in a way easier than area director role because you didn't have to travel so much and a little bit don't have to put your hands in the dirt yourself so much.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing that will definitely give you more courage, Magda, is that among the people that you have there are leaders who are motivated to take the role. It's not that the club members push them to take the role, like sometimes happens among club officers, that they didn't want how to say no, and now they are in a position which they don't necessarily want. Area directors are either got nominated or they volunteered themselves to take this position, and they want to learn something and do something. So you have a motivated team at the start, and if you just keep this fire burning and make it bigger, then you will have fantastic outcomes. Monica would like to add.
Magda doesn't have, it's still one vacant in her division, so maybe that's why she has a problem.
I have two vacancies right now.
2 vacancies.
Or area directors.
Well, I do not. The division D, prospective division D. Yes.
Thank you, Magda, for representing, because it's really true. Division D has no area director, but Irina, don't afraid to take challenge. If you have a proper people, as I have, and these people are not avoiding responsibility. Mostly people, when you transfer or you delegate the power, people say it's too much, or it's not my responsibility, or I am overcharged. So don't afraid to do it, because people, they used to work with you. Some people reply you, of course, it's too much responsibility, but it's very rare. What's the biggest problem? Sometimes you have to be a fireman. And I had, during my cadency, I have 4 fires, a big fire. Even one was really, really big. And you have to learn a little bit about how to solve conflicts. Olga could confirm that each fire was distinct, was really finished, nearly finished, because we made the proper way. And the other thing, sometimes you have people which give you a direction. And for example, I have a different point of views with Monica, but I know that she always helped me. And she always asked me, well, what about procedures? And I know that Monica is a good woman who supports division director, because the clue is in procedures as well. We don't care about procedures, and procedures save your life.
Yes, they are there as the safety line, we could say, to keep us on track. Monica, you wanted to add something. Thank you.
Yes, because we have very funny situation on this meeting, because almost all of our guests applied for a role for a next term, except Darek. And I want to ask Darek, what do you want to hear today to take this opportunity and take some district role?
Goodness, discussions, I don't know how many times, because I lost the count. But why am I here? I will not answer your questions because I don't know yet. But I'm interested in the life is changing. The life is changing rapidly, and acquiring new knowledge, maybe not new, but in different contexts, is very valuable. That if you go in the completely new environment, then you have something on which you could rely, or your past experiences, as it was said, your past or current colleagues, or something you watched, what you did acquire working for Toastmasters. Let's go for working at the organization. That's not the direct answer, but I think it is close. Thanks.
Thank you, Derek. Irina, would you like to ask any question or share your views with us? Any insights you have gained, maybe?
Good evening, everyone. I'm applying to area director position, so I'm interested in that role. So maybe some comments or some suggestions, or I don't know what you will do again or what you will not do. No, don't repeat some mistakes or no mistakes, or you have a mentor or not. I'm thinking about Odyssey project to join for area director position if it's available for that position. So many ideas what to do, how to make some more interesting learning, more interactive. So a lot of ideas and maybe some suggestions from you.
I can hear that Monica is raising her hand. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Area director for me, it was, from the perspective right now, I can see that it was the simplest role, but the hardest one. Because you step out from the club and you became a district leader, and it's a lot new things to learn, how district functions, what is the operation procedure, how we communicate, what are those meetings, the CM, the CAM trainings. It's really a lot of new things to know. What I advise to you is to look at your division director, because this is the person who was actually on your role before. And this person is to help you to be the best area director as you could be. So ask your division director, talk with your division director. Finding mentor also is very good, because this is someone who can give some insights except around your area, but mostly you should work with your team. So another area directors and your division director.
Thank you.
I think that the thought which most paralyzed me when I became area director or was about to become was, how is it going to be? There is this magical moment when they proclaim that yes, for the oncoming year you become the area director. People heard it. It is formally approved. And now what has changed in you? Nothing much, only that you know that now you are the area director. And I started panicking. Where is the knowledge? Where are the skills? People will be asking me questions, expecting from me. Some of these things can be satisfied with the training that area directors go through. And it's just after holiday. Probably it will be organized in September. Correct me if I'm wrong, because or is it in August?
It will be in May, first
in
of
May,
the district conference, and the next one it will be in June. So a lot of training preparing you for the role.
So one thing is that you will get support, and the other thing is to realize that leadership in Toastmasters is about building teams. So Irina, you will also be building a team with your club presidents, with vice presidents education. You will create area council, and you will listen to the people, ask them, what is your problem? What are your successes? And they will share this with one another. In this way, you will know what's going on, and also they will support. One club will support another with ideas, with methods to solve conflicts, and so on. So you're not alone there. You just you hold the steering wheel, but there are many people on the bus with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, before we are slowly, our discussion is going to the final stop, but it's not yet. I would like you to think for a moment about one thing that you most are grateful because you have taken the leadership role. Something you're most grateful for.
So I could start with the experience that you can't get in the job. Like in my case, I was a district leader just after I finished my studies. So it was, I still wasn't working in a regular job when this began. And the upside was that I had something to put in my CV even before I was actually working. And well, the specifics of my college was that I couldn't start a job within my field before I actually finished and got all the papers. So I had something to present. I could present, I have some skills, and there are a lot of transferable skills within the roles in the district. So you can present it if you're creative in a very, very impressive way, that you are a good manager, that you're a good team leader, team builder, and you can be responsible, and many other things that can be helpful in getting a job. So that was great for me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Justyna. Transferable skills, things which you can use in searching for a job in your professional life. Other people. Adriana.
I would say that maybe it's a cliche, but the opportunity to work with the district team, with the people that form the district team, for me, it has been a very pleasant experience and also enriching. And on another hand, again, going into the people area, I got to experience and learn about people skills and the communication, but like one-on-one and conflicts, and really how to behave. And in that sense, it has been a year for me of intense learning, and I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you. So we learned a lot of leadership skills.
I have benefited in many ways, both in what Justyna and Adriana said in a professional way, and also in a personal, as a people, become more people person, and also personal relationships, one in particular, but also many friends which I have made during this time, and it's kind of fun cliche that we are kind of some of an average of the 5-10 people we hang around most. But I noticed a big difference kind of people you associate with and be a bit Toastmasters, and then you meet some other people, realize, okay, that there are also a good influence here. So benefits have been plentiful in many ways.
Thank you, Heikki. For you, it was a great place to grow.
Exactly.
In many ways, yes. And
I'd like to share with you my thinking about my position. I was thinking that I am capable to work and especially to manage without power. And I found, and it was when I was area director or president, when I start from the position of president of the corporation, I went to Toastmaster, and I was changing all the time to not be dictator, just to be manager or leader. And I found on this position that I'm not educated enough. This position gave me a lot of knowledge how to manage without power, without using this finger, even more. And second, I was tested by 3 different fires in my division. And I found that even if I am a very experienced negotiator and I have a knowledge about management and so on, so the challenge was so high that I was on the top of my capability. So I think in normal life, I will never find such problems because I will just give up. And my position insists me to not give up, but to go to the success.
Thank you. So for Zbyszek, it was finding courage to face the worst of the worst case scenarios and to save the clubs from being destroyed by internal conflicts. And also for the second thing he mentioned was the importance of leading as a charismatic leader and leading in a soft way, not in the dictator style, not from pressing on people and so on. It's important to learn. And you must be very, very sensitive to what's going on around you because we are all volunteers. And if we overestimate our power, overuse it, people will leave us and we will be left with all this hard work. We need to learn how to play the game together and not individually. Monica, what about you?
I'm thinking right now what was the most I can speak for
just
hours.
Choose one. Maybe it's hard to choose the most, but just one. Yes.
Okay, this is what I remember for sure. It was this moment when I was interviewed. It was recruitation interview for a new job. And I get a question, Ken, do you have any experience with managing international team? And I didn't have this experience as from my professional life, from the work. But at some point, Toastmasters, I have to tell about the Toastmasters. And I described my experience. It was 1 year ago. So I was program quality director. And I described how this managing looks like in an international team in our district, 7 countries. It looks quite impressive. So I got this job at that time. So it was something which I benefit in professional life, but also in my personal life and engage in one of the Toastmasters.
Oh, congratulations. It helps you both professionally and also personally. And as you could hear from Monica's story, it's very tangible. So the effects are not only in your thoughts, but they are here and now in your life, how it changes for better. Okay, Michał, could you give us one sentence, something that is of great value for you?
I think it's the same thing I said before, the contacts that stay after and they hunt you even years after you've been a normal member, they will come for you and ask to do things. for the district. But I benefited a lot in so many different ways. I didn't count, so then I give back for wherever I can.
Thank you. Michał has many, many benefits from his role. I would like to thank you all. Our time is really nearly over. I'm very, very happy that I could stay here with you and listen to your insights. And thank you, Justyna, Adriana, Monika, Heiki. Thank you, Michał. Thank you, dear guests, Darek, Zbyszek, Magda, Damian. I hope we all also influence our club presidents, vice presidents, education. So is it the 7th of May, the next district elections? On the 7th of May, they come and they choose the best possible officers to keep this quality that we have, to keep us strong together and to build on our potential and theirs. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the day.